Hello and welcome to this new section on automation in this course on software development excellence, and this is the first lecture of this new section. So in this section we will help you learn about automation to become excellent software development company, and we will start talking about in first about 4 lectures on what is involved in automation to become an excellent software development company. What are the different practices, what are the different things that you can use to automate the working in your company. So what do you think, what is involved in automation in a software development company? Any thoughts? See, automation is very important for achieving efficiency, reliability and excellence in software development, needless to say. Now, this adopting these automation practices that we will talk about can streamline the processes, reduce manual effort, which is a big cost in software development, and also enhance the overall quality of the software. What are the various aspects, practices that are involved in leveraging automation? Let's take a look at that. So first thing which is getting into more and more use rapidly is what is called continuous integration, in which you keep integrating the code, new codes that you develop, build and test, report them, merge into your basic codes, into your shared repository, and you release them. So it's all about automating the integration of code changes into a shared repository. What all you need to do to make that happen, to do continuous integration? First, you need to implement the CI tools. CI tools like Jenkins, Travis CI, GitLab CI, etc. Then you need to set up automated builds triggered by the code commits. So as the codes are confirmed, are committed, you need to set up builds that happen automatically in the compiler. And then you need to run automated tests after each integration to identify issues early. And that's the cycle or key steps in continuous integration. The next big thing is the continuous deployment and delivery, which is happening more and more, and in which, as you see, it's a next step of continuous integration, in which you automate the deployment or delivery of the software to various environments. And the main steps are to deploy, verify, monitor, respond, and release on demand. And it happens continuously, and that's why it calls continuous deployment. Now, so what are the things that you can do to start practicing continuous deployment and delivery? The first thing that you need to do is to implement continuous deployment pipelines for staging and production deployment. So there has to be this continuous deployment pipelines that are implemented and put in place for staging and production deployment. Then you need to automate release processes to reduce manual intervention into release process. And third thing you need to then do is integrate the automated testing into the deployment pipeline. And if you do all that, you are beginning to be ready for continuous deployment and delivery. Another practice that you can consider to automate your software development process is to enhance automated testing. And in this, what you do is basically enhance the software quality through automated testing, right? So how do you do that? So what you do is you implement unit testing for individual components. Each of these components of the software, you have unit tests that you implement. Then you conduct integration testing to ensure proper collaboration between the components. You perform end-to-end testing to validate the entire application workflow. And then you utilize testing frameworks and tools like JUnit, Selenium, and TestNG, right? Another important thing that you could consider for excellence in software development is the code analysis and static code reviews, in which what you do is you identify and address code quality issues early in the development process. So in the development process itself, you identify and address the code quality issues as the codes are being written practically. And this you do through integrating the static code analysis tools like SonarQube and ESLint Then you automate code reviews to enforce coding standards and best practices. And finally, use the automated tools to identify security vulnerabilities. So, and if you do this, you would have been on a journey to do the code analysis and static code reviews. Infrastructure as a code is another practice that is seems very promising, and you could consider that, where you automate the provisioning and management of infrastructure. So your infrastructure, as you see, is either hosted on cloud or you have on premises, and then you have an automation API or a server that manages, which basically based on the developers, as developers write code, and you through your infrastructure as a code through a version control system, you push and pull the infrastructure required. So that's the process of IAC. Now, what are the things that you need to do? So what are the things that you need to do could be, using tools like Terraform or Ansible for infrastructure automation, define infrastructure configuration as code, and enable consistent and reproducible infrastructure deployment. And if you start doing that, you will be moving a long way in terms of developing infrastructure as a code. So having looked at few practices in this lecture, what do we do next? We have more coming up in the next lecture on what are the other things that you can do to automate the software development and to become excellent software development company. And we'll take a look at that in the next lecture. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on automation in this course on software development excellence. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continue to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. If you have any questions, please do feel free to message me anywhere you see this video. I'll be happy to answer a question. And if you like to download the PDF file to take a look at what we have said, please do so.